Mixing vocals is an art. It's tough to get them right, especially when we're talking about hearing the lead vocal throughout the entire song without things getting too loud. Now this video is going to help you navigate those troubled waters, giving you the essentials to mixing vocals in worship. This video is brought to you by Behringer X32 Mastery, the fastest way for church sound techs to master the X32. And with a team license, you can enroll unlimited team members now and in the future. Finally, everyone will be on the same page. Visit x32.church or click the link in the description to learn more. All right, step one, set gain properly for each vocal. Good sound starts with gain, yet most church sound techs aren't quite sure how gain is different from adjusting the volume. If you don't quite understand gain, it's okay. That's where we all started. Be sure to check out my video on how to set gain. I'll include a link in the description where you can watch that. All right, step two, cut the lows out of all vocals. If a vocalist is singing into the mic like they should with distance of 1 inch or less from the microphone to their mouth, you'll get a nice full sound. However, if you leave the EQ as is, there will be way too much low frequency noise, which makes it sound muddy, and it also gets in the way of the instruments that belong in that space. To fix this problem, you should activate the low cut filter on every vocal, also known as a high pass filter on some mixers. This gets rid of low frequency pops and unwanted breathing noise by cutting low frequencies that shouldn't be reproduced on a vocal anyways. On an analog mixer, the high pass filter button is usually located by the gain knob. On a digital mixer, like the Behringer X32, simply activate the low cut filter and set the frequency to around 120 Hz. Although this takes care of most issues, you still may want to clean it up a bit using the low frequency knob if you have an analog mixer, or changing the frequency position of your low cut filter if you have a digital mixer. Simply cut out the lows until you get a nice clean sound that still has plenty of warmth. All right, step three, mix background vocals in the background. It's common for churches to mix all the vocals in the foreground and bury all the instrumentalists, but there's a better way. Your mix should have layers and contrast. On the top layer is your lead vocal, followed by the instruments that create energy, like the bass and the drums. And then under that is your lead instrument, which changes from song to song. For example, in a song like Wake, synth is the lead instrument. But in a song like Good Good Father, acoustic guitar is the lead instrument. Then simply layer in the background vocals and the other instruments where they fit best. Now keep in mind, you don't have to audibly hear every single instrument and vocal, but you should notice a change if the channel is muted. All right, step four, use compression. If you don't have compression on vocals, you're in for a bumpy ride. There's simply too much dynamic range on a vocal to let it run free. Compression takes the dynamic range and it narrows it down depending on how much compression is added. Then you will not have to ride the fader up and down through the whole song as the vocal gets louder and then it gets softer. Now on the other hand, too much compression can take the life out of a vocal. As a baseline measurement, make sure that the vocal isn't compressed more than 6 dB on average. The goal is to narrow the dynamic range, but not eliminate it. Now I have a video on how to set compressors for vocals. I'll include a link in the description. All right, step five, add reverb. When reverb is not used on a vocal, it sounds dry and dead. But reverb can also become a distraction when used too much. When in doubt, use a plate reverb to bring life and space to the vocal. Turn it up until you can hear it, and then bring it back down to where it doesn't stand out. To help separate a lead vocal from the background vocals, try using a plate reverb on the lead vocal and hall reverb on the background vocals. This will put them in two different spaces, so to speak, and add a little interest to the sound. There's really no set in stone way to mix reverb, so don't be afraid to experiment. Different songs will have different applications. The 5 things we just talked about will make a huge difference in the sound of your vocals, but you may also want to take it to the next level by dialing in EQ for each specific vocal. I'll include a link in the description to my vocal EQ cheat sheet to get you started. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'd be glad to answer. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up to let me know. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the little bell so we can let you know when a new video comes out. I'll see you next time.